Our story today is about a 15-year-old boy named Mahiru, who spends most of his time at school, like most boys his age. One day, while walking to school, he notices a small, injured cat on the side of the road. Feeling sorry for it, he decides to take it home with him. He starts taking care of it and names it Kuro. However, Mahiru doesn't realize that by bringing this cat home, he's unknowingly opened the gates to a world of chaos. Anyway, Mahiru heads to school, where he meets his 3 friends. Let's get to know them. The one with yellow hair is Ryu, this is Kyuki, and finally, the guy who looks like a delinquent, named Sakuya. They spend the day together at school until classes end, and then they walk home together. Sakuya looks at his friends and says, "Be careful. I've heard some rumors that a vampire has appeared recently and is randomly killing people." His friends are worried about what he said, but Sakuya reassures them, "Don't worry, I was just joking. None of what I said actually happened." At that moment, Mahiru says goodbye to his friends and heads home. But as soon as he arrives, he hears the TV on, even though he's sure he turned it off before leaving for school. He gets closer to the TV and is shocked to find someone sitting in front of it, watching TV and eating snacks. Mahiru is terrified and asks, "Who are you?" The person replies, "Leave me alone and let me relax." Without hesitation, Mahiru attacks him, but notices that the person moves quickly and easily dodges his attacks. In the chaos, Mahiru pulls the curtains, and sunlight floods the room. The person transforms into a cat, Kuro. Yes, folks, the creature Mahiru picked up from the street and raised. Mahiru quickly closes the curtains, and Kuro explains, "I don't like sunlight." Mahiru, stunned, asks, "Wait, does that mean you're a vampire? And if you're a vampire, does that mean you've been killing people?" Kuro calmly replies, "No, that's too much trouble. I don't like causing a scene." Mahiru, furious, demands that Kuro leave his house, but Kuro retorts, "Why are you acting like this? You're the one who brought me here in the first place." Mahiru argues, "I thought you were just a normal cat, not a vampire." Kuro says, "Listen, buddy, you and I now have a temporary contract, which means we can't be separated and will stay together until the end of the day. When the day ends, I'll leave you." Mahiru says, "What if I want to make a permanent contract with you?" Kuro replies, "I need to drink some of your blood. Then we'll have a permanent contract that can't be broken." Mahiru says, "No way, I don't want to do that." Kuro then asks Mahiru, "Where are your parents? I noticed there's no one else in the house." At that moment, we learn that Mahiru lives alone because his mother died in an accident a few years ago. During that time, his uncle took care of him and decided to raise him. Mahiru lived with him for a while until he decided to live alone. Anyway, Mahiru takes Kuro and says, "You have to come with me because I want to show you to my friends." Mahiru meets Ryu and Kyuki and tells them what happened, but of course, no one believes him. Kuro remains silent and doesn't want to talk. Ryu says to Mahiru, "What's wrong with you? Did you not sleep well?" Suddenly, in the middle of their conversation, a person appears out of nowhere, looking like an acrobat. As soon as he appears, he attacks Ryu and bites his neck. Yes, folks, this means the person is a vampire. Chaos ensues, and no one understands what's happening. Mahiru asks the person, "Who are you? Are you Kuro's friend?" The person says, "On the contrary, I'm Kuro's enemy, and I came here to kill him. My name is Bailey." We notice that this person is a psychopath and completely insane. At that moment, Kuro attacks him, and Mahiru expects a fight between Kuro and Bailey, but he's shocked when Kuro says, "Let's run away from here because I'm tired and can't handle the chaos." Mahiru gets angry and says, "Why don't you want to fight? Aren't you a vampire?" At that moment, Bailey is about to kill Mahiru's friends, so Mahiru attacks Bailey, who manages to stop him for a while. But Bailey is about to kill Mahiru when Kuro intervenes and takes the hit for him. We see that Kuro is upset because he hasn't drunk human blood in years, so he's exhausted from the hit he took. Mahiru then offers to let Kuro drink his blood, but Mahiru forgets that this will create an unbreakable contract between them. Kuro attacks Bailey and easily defeats him, but before killing him, Bailey transforms into a doll to avoid death. Mahiru asks Bailey, "Why did you attack Kuro?" Bailey says, "It was an order I received from Tsubaki. So I advise you to stay away from him, because if he sees you, he'll kill you." At that moment, Kuro falls asleep from exhaustion, and Mahiru also faints. The next day, when Mahiru wakes up, he finds himself in his room with Kuro. He's confused and doesn't understand what happened or who brought them home. He decides to go to school and look for Ryu to ask him. When he arrives, he finds Ryu with stitches on his neck from Bailey's bite, but Mahiru is shocked when Ryu says it happened because of a car accident. Mahiru says, "Did you forget what happened yesterday when we were together and the vampire attacked you?" Ryu says, "Are you crazy? Are you on something these days?" Mahiru is surprised that everyone who was there yesterday and saw what happened has forgotten it. Only Mahiru and Kuro remember. Anyway, Mahiru leaves them and starts thinking about what happened until he hears a noise coming from his bag. When he opens it, he finds Kuro and Bailey arguing. Mahiru takes the opportunity to ask Bailey what happened, but Bailey doesn't answer and says only one thing: "Tsubaki is here." At that moment, Mahiru is surprised and asks, "Where is he?" But suddenly, a shadowy aura surrounds Mahiru, and a person appears. Tsubaki. Yes, folks, the person in front of us is Tsubaki, the one Bailey works for. As soon as he meets Mahiru, he gets closer and says, "Hi, I'm Tsubaki. I'm the one who sent Bailey to kill you and Kuro. Do you mind if I kill you? I also want to let you know that I'm a person who loves killing and chaos, and you've entered my war, so prepare for what's coming." At that moment, Mahiru is shocked by Tsubaki's evilness and madness. He says, "I don't understand. Are you human like us, or are you a vampire?" Tsubaki says, "Have you ever heard of the Seven?" Mahiru says, "No. Who are they?" Tsubaki replies, "The Seven are 7 people who represent the 7 deadly sins because of their immense power. They are the strongest beings in the world of vampires. The sins are laziness, pride, envy, wrath, greed, gluttony, and lust. These are the 7 deadly sins. But I, Tsubaki, decided to become the 8th sin, and my sin is depression." Mahiru says, "Forget all that. Do you really kill people?" Tsubaki says, "Yes, because I hate them. Anyway, you've taken enough of my time. It's time to die.